Good morning, students. This is the second lecture. In today's lecture, we will learn about the classification of the machine learning algorithms. In this, we will learn about the types of algorithms. So these are the types of machine learning algorithm. First one is the supervised learning. Second is unsupervised learning, and the third one is reinforcement learning. There is one more type that is called the semi-supervised learning algorithm. So what is learning for a machine? A machine is said to be learning from the past experiences, means the data which we feed into it with respect to some class of task. So if its performance in a given task improves with experiences, then we can say that the machine is learning. For example, assume that the machine has to predict whether a customer will buy a specific product, let's say an antivirus, this year or not. So we have to predict by using the machine learning that the customer will buy the antivirus this year or not. The machine will do it by looking at the previous knowledge or the past experiences. So how it will do? That is the data of the products. Suppose we have a customer A. So we will look at the data that what customer A has been buying from the past year. If he buy antivirus every year, then there is very high probability that the customer A is going to buy an antivirus this year as well. So in this way, machine learning works at the basic conceptual level. So first type of learning is supervised learning. Supervised learning, we can say, is done under a supervision, means is when the model is getting trained on the labeled data set. And what does we mean by labeled data set? Is a labeled data set is one which has both input as well as the output parameter. So in this supervised learning, we provide the input as well as the output of the respective inputs. In this type of learning, both the training and validation data sets are labeled. Supervised learning, as we can see in the diagram, two types are used for the classification and for the regression. So now we come to the types of supervised learning algorithm. First is the classification. It is a supervised learning task where the output is having labels. Defined labels means discrete values. For example, if we have the output that purchased has defined level, means 0 or 1, we have to define the purchase, means whether the customer will purchase the product for any product or not. So 1 means the customer will purchase the product, and 0 we will assign to the customer that it will not purchase the product. So the classification can either be binary or a multi-class classification, means binary in the sense 0 or 1, which we have looked in the example that the customer will buy the product or not. And multi-class means like when used Gmail classify mails in more than one class. As you have already seen in the Gmail that some mails are marked as social, some are promotions, updates and forums. So this is an example of the multi-class classification. Next type of supervised learning is the regression. It is a supervised learning task where output is having the continuous value. Here the goal is to predict a value which is much closer to the actual output, and then after that we calculate the error by seeing the difference between the actual output and the predicted output. In this, the smaller the error, the greater the accuracy. As smaller the error will come, the greater the accuracy of our regression model will be. Some of the examples of supervised learning is linear regression, nearest neighbor, decision tree, random forest, SVM and etc. Now we come to the next type of learning, that is unsupervised learning. As the name suggests, it is not done under the supervision. So it is a learning method in which machine learns without any supervision by itself. It is a type of learning where we don't give the target to a model while training. That is, training model has only the input parameter, not the output parameter as we are giving in the supervised learning. The model by itself has to find which way it can learn. types of unsupervised learning is clustering and association. So what do we do in clustering? In this technique is applied to a group data based on different patterns and our model finds. So different patterns our model will try to find. And in association, this technique is a rule-based machine learning techniques that finds out very useful relationship between the parameters of the large data set. Some of the examples of unsupervised learning are k-means clustering, DB-scan, and hierarchical clustering. The third one is the reinforcement learning. In this technique, the model keeps on increasing its performance using the reward and feedback to learn the behavior of the pattern. As you can see in the diagram, there is one agent, environment, and state and action. So what the goal of an agent is to get the most reward points, and hence it improves its performance. These algorithms are specific to a problem. Example, the Google self-driving car.